Hello. Hello, my name is Brittany Carter. Today I'm going to teach a lecture on sexual addiction. Okay, what is sexual addiction? Some would say sexual addiction is exactly what the term says and define it as a person who is addicted to sex. But it is more deeper than that. Sexual addiction is a state characterized by compulsive participation or engagement in sexual activity, particularly sexual intercourse. But still, it is much more deeper than that. We first need to understand what addiction is. Addiction. Addiction is considered to be a chronic, lifelong disease. I know you're thinking, how can sex addiction be a disease? Sex addiction, like any other addiction, usually destroys the prefrontal cortex of the brain. That part of the brain controls monitoring, social thinking, abstract thought, and moral behavior. Addiction doesn't have to just be drug addiction or any other addiction, substance addiction, or anything like that. Experts in the field of addiction then started speaking of sex addiction until 1980 by Patrick Carnes. Sexual addiction is someone who is addicted to sex or lust. Lust is defined as having a strong sexual desire. Lust can sometimes be confused as love. A person may have sex with someone and start to think, oh, I'm having emotional feelings for this person. But really, it's just them being attached to sex. Ask yourself, am I addicted to sex? I feel like some of you can answer that without me even telling you the signs of sex. I'm going to give you the signs of sex addiction. 1. Exhibit a constellation of preferred sexual behaviors, arranged in a clear ritualized order, acted out in obsessional scenarios. Experience periods of escalation and de-escalation. Basically, this means that you feel aroused or you feel like you need to have sex and it may go away and then you feel that way again. Continue to act out despite severe consequences, loss of family, financial loss, and health risks. Have delusional thought patterns, realization, minimization, projection, reality distortion, and denial patterns. Basically this is saying that you're in denial that you're a sex addict. Spend most of their time in obsessions and trance life state, distracted from reality. This basically means that you could be, for example, you could be at work, doing work, but the only thing on your mind is sex. You're not really thinking about what's going on. You're really just off in your own zone thinking about sex. Feel severe shame and depression to be suicidal. Behave in abusive and exploitation manner after violating nonsense of value. This basically means you have no value for yourself. You let anyone have you. Casual sex, having sex with someone you just met, or just having sex, basically just having sex with anyone. Live a double life. Shrouded in secrecy and dishonest. This can mean basically meaning you could be married, you have someone on the side that you're having sex with, multiple sex partners on the side. It could even mean that you have a wife and that you're out having sex with a guy, or you're out having sex with you can be a girl and out having sex with another girl. Either way. Basically meaning that you have sex with anyone, anything. Just sex is just sex to you. It doesn't matter what sex, who it come from, if you're married or if you're single. Go to extreme lengths to maintain their appearance and like to have high achievements. Basically, this scenario basically saying that you like to look good, you like attention, you want to have high achievements because people are attracted to people who have high achievements. You want to be seen, you want to be known. Okay. Now I'm going to speak about Carnes. Carnes in 2001 produced an excellent workbook called Facing the Shadows. Within this workbook, he proposed an analysis of the 10 types of sex addicts, but I'm only going to speak about 3. The first one is fantasy sex. Arousal depends on sexual possibility, what could be seen, or if. Obsession and preoccupation is a way to delay the feelings of sexual excitement. 2. Seductive role sex. Arousal is based on conquest and diminishes swiftly after first contact. Arousal is released to power. Individuals usually use sexuality to gain control over someone, seducing victims through flirtation. Basically, this is saying that you like to have sex because maybe you have no self-esteem, and when you're having sex, you're feeling good, you're making this person feel good, so you're making yourself feel good. Seductive role sex. No, sorry. Voyeuristic sex. Use of visual stimulation to escape into a trance. Basically, what I was telling you earlier, that you're just off in your own world. You're just thinking about sex. You're just thinking about sex. It could be any time of the day. It just pops up on your mind. Behaviors include viewing sexual, explicit videos and photographs, attending script shows, visiting adult bookstores, and watching people through their windows. Sometimes this may include using binoculars. This is a classic violation of someone's personal boundaries. So it get that deep. If you're addicted to watching porn, you're addicted to looking at people, going to going to script shows, going to a strip club, this could be a sign that you are a sex addict. Some disorders that sex addicts face. Some disorders that sex addicts face. Sexual addiction can be the primary, secondary, or stimulus disorder along with other substance or process addiction such as chemical dependency, eating disorders, work addiction, meaning you like to work all the time, substance or process addiction, eating disorder, work addiction, compulsive buying, meaning that you just like to buy all the time, just like to spend money for no reason, like just like to spend your money. Additionally, sex addiction often coexists with other psychiatric issues such as depression, anxiety, personality disorders, relationship issues, or relationship issues. Increased buying, spending, and sexual behavior also often accelerate during manic episodes, but do not warrant a diagnosis of sex addiction. What makes a person become a sex addict? This is a very good question. Usually, a person who is a sex addict, it comes from their past. Usually, when counselors, the first thing that a counselor needs to do when they're diagnosing a person of being a sex addict, they need to look into their past. Because usually it comes from them coming from a dysfunctional family. That they could explain their parent not caring for them in the past, being sexually abused, substance abuse, or and things of that nature. Last but not least, we're going to talk about treatment for sexual abuse. If you know someone who you think may be sexual, who you think may have a sexual addiction after watching this video, you can refer them to a counselor. You can even point it out to them because some people don't know. They just in denial. They just think that sex is a part of life. That it's just a part of life. But like I said, it's way deeper than that. Often, treatment for sexual addiction involves many treatment approaches used for substance addictions. So usually the same thing that they use for the same methods that they use for substance addiction, they use the same methods for sex addiction, such as cognitive behavior therapy. However, additional biological approaches such as hormonal therapy involving androgens or certain libido inhibiting antidepressants may also be used. Again, ask yourself, am I a sex addict? Until next time, people.